Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show today. I'm really glad everybody could join us on this webinar. So today we're going to be diving in. We're going to be talking about how one of our clients, Christine, has now got 816,000 plus in business credit approvals with no consumer credit check or personal guarantee. And we're going to map out the exact steps she took to get this success. Even look at some of her approvals, look at her business credit reports, and map out and kind of reverse engineer how you can do exactly the same thing as well. So before we dive in, let me introduce myself for those people that don't know me. My name is Ty Crandall. I've got about 17 years, going on 18 years of financial experience now. Ever since I got out of the military back in the 90s, I've been in financial services. I speak about business credit worldwide. I'm all over the place. I don't even know. I don't literally even know. In the next 3 weeks, I think I'll be in Orlando. I'll be in Arizona, Orlando, Florida. I'll be in Arizona. And then I go some other places in between. I think Philadelphia. And I've been invited as far as Singapore. So I talk about this to a lot of people on really big stages. So I have a lot of knowledge and experience in what we're going to be diving into. I've actually authored two of the best-selling books on credit. One is on consumer credit, perfect credit, which decodes the consumer credit scoring, and one business credit, which maps out everything there is to know about the business credit process and scoring. And I'm also seen as an authority with news stations, podcasts, radio, TV shows. I've been on Inc., Forbes, Entrepreneur. I'm actually meeting Steve Forbes in 2 weeks up in New York, and I'm going to Entrepreneur Magazine, to their office. So I am featured in a lot of these places because I've just been blessed to become the authority on this topic when it comes to business credit building. I also oversee the largest business credit partner division in the United States. So what that means is it means we have thousands of partners that offer business credit and financing around this country, and we are their servicing engine. We're the ones that are doing all the work, and they're out there actually doing the selling. So we're helping all of their clients beyond just our own as well. To date, we've helped about 15,000 people build business credit in the last few years. So I don't tell you any of this to brag or boast. Anybody that knows me knows I'm an extremely humble person. I only tell you this because I want you to know that I have the experience and knowledge to be able to talk to you about the topic we're going to dive into today. Nothing I'm going to teach you is theory, none of it. All of this is actual, real, proven process to be able to effectively build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your personal social. So what we're going to cover today is just that, how you can immediately get business credit. I mean, immediately, you're going to leave this webinar and know how to immediately get sources, even before you're done with this webinar, to start building your business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social, even if you're a startup, even if you have bad personal credit now. Okay, and we're also going to talk about how to immediately then start using that initial established credit profile and score you get to then start getting what we call retail credit. So this is a retail credit tier. This has to do with Walmart and Amazon, Staples, Apple, Lowe's, Ford. You even get cash credit like Visa cards, MasterCards, and American Express cards without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. We're going to talk about how to get loans, even when banks say no, even when you are a startup, even if you have credit challenges, even if you think you're not lendable. We'll talk about ways you can still get money, and we'll talk about how you can make money offering business credit financing if that's something you're interested in as well. Bonuses will be supplied, and the playback of this will be offered at the end of this event. So if you're staying, you don't have to stay through the question and answer. But if you stay through the event itself, then you will learn about some bonuses, and you will also have access to the playback so you can watch this at your convenience. So business credit will work for you. Well, business credit is the only financial solution you can get regardless of cash flow, credit, or collateral. Basically, what I'm saying, it's the only way you can get money for a business if you can't get money at a bank. If you don't have cash flow, if you are a startup, for example, if you have credit issues, if you don't have collateral, then you're not lendable in most cases, but you can still come in and be able to build business credit. So what this means is it basically means that any business can build it, even startup. There's no business that cannot build business credit. Even a business that just starts today, if you're forming your corporation today, you could still follow the same steps that we're going to go through today that Christine followed. We're even going to look at the steps that she followed to get the 816,000 plus amount of money that she's actually been able to secure. So here's a look at some people that, just like you, maybe had doubts, didn't know if this could work for them. And then they came in and they actually attended a webinar, possibly like this, and these are the kind of results they're getting now. So you can see here, 10th vendor account, no personal guarantee. Here's a Chevron account for $4,000, a Staples business credit card. Here's a J.C. Penney's 9th account that they have. Here's some stuff they actually bought using a vendor account, which I'm going to show you how to get later today. 6,000 with Amazon, 10,000 with Apple today, 2 approvals. 12,500 with Apple as another approval. Here's one with $8,500 worth of credit. Here's one Office Depot for 1,000. Office Depot again. Here's another no personal guarantee, which is what no PG means. So I'll tell you if they're providing a personal guarantee or no personal guarantee. For 2,000 with ExxonMobil. Here's one for $17,000 with no personal guarantee that she got from Amazon. Here's JCPenney again. Here's another approval with BP for $2,600, $4,000 for Amazon. Thanks, Ty Crandall, for all the advice and help. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for taking the advice. $4,000 again with Amazon. Here's a bunch of approvals here. Uline, here's Seton, American Express Blue account, Amazon line of credit. Most of those without a personal guarantee. Here's a $50,000 credit line with Pilot Flying J. They're really approving some high approvals. I'm going to show you how to get those as we progress. Here's Greg with $7,000 and an 80 Paydex score. Talk to you more about that. People buying printers and more, right? 4,000 Amazon, another 4,000 approval. Here's a 1,600 approval. So American Express for $9,000. Here's an approval for 7,200 and another American Express for 20. So look, almost every single one of these, if not every one of these people, didn't know anything about business credit. They came and got the exact training that we're going to dive into today. They learned the step, they learned the process, they went out and they started to actually get these kind of results. And you can see every one of these is from a different person. I could show you a bunch of results from the same person, but all of these are different people. You see about 100 of these type of real case studies as we go through. And almost all these people knew nothing about business credit. They went through this kind of training and then they got the actual training they need to follow the steps to have these kind of success as you can too. Here's a $50,000 approval, a Dell approval for $10,000, another approval here for $6,000 with Racetrack, 7,200 approval, and so on and so on. So again, if you're following the steps, I didn't invent business credit. Okay, business credit, Dun & Bradstreet's been around since 1841. They've been around way before consumer credit ever existed. What we've done is just find a way to educate, teach, and simplify this process to help take what takes years in most cases down to months. I'm going to teach you the process that people go through, and then we'll even talk to you about how you can condense this as well from years to months. Now, normally, here's where we meet Christine. And an hour and a half ago, this is the email that I received from Christine. I just got into a car accident, taking kids into the hospital to get checked out. We will not be out in time for the webinar. I think Trinity has a broken arm. She's not doing good, so good at this moment. So unfortunately, Christine's not able to make it. We were supposed to do this together. Now, Christine, this will be her 3rd webinar with me. We brought her on when she did last year 158,000 in approvals. She then a few months, about 3 or 4 months ago, was up to over 500,000 in approvals. And everybody asks that we continuously bring her on every quarter or so to get an update. And she's now at over 816,000. So in the rare case, 3 times a year or so that I do these webinars with Christine, she's typically sitting right here with me and we're going through this together. I hope all of you please pass your well wishes to Christine and her family, especially Trinity, her daughter, to hope that Trinity's arm is okay and hope that they are recovering okay from the car accident. So I'm sorry Christine couldn't make it today. But let me tell you a little bit about Christine. Christine owns 2 different businesses, including Farrell Transportation. They were established back in 2015. She just opened her other company that she's been building business credit in 2017. And you can go to horsepursuit.com, playoffhotpursuit.com, which I love, to learn a little bit more about Christine. And you can see a little bit more about her. Now, she considers herself to be in the transportation business. They do a lot with horses. They do a lot with transportation. They do a lot with trucking, and they do a lot with transportation of horses. And horses really are her big passion. So Christine actually struggled to get financing to start and grow a business. Maybe some of you could relate. I can relate. I had my hand raised. I was in this situation too. Before I learned everything I'm going to teach you today, and the reason I'm teaching you today is because I didn't know it, and I think you should, is that I really struggled to get financing for the business. I didn't know about most of the lenders that were out there. I didn't know about most of the loan options that were out there. Didn't even know business credit existed. Christine was the same boat. She struggled to get financing. She went into her bank. She tried to get a loan. Her bank denied her. They had credit issues. There was other things against them. And then she started the path of trying to build business credit. So she couldn't qualify for the loans when she actually went into her bank to get financing. And then she started to build business credit. So a lot of people build business credit for two main reasons. One, people that are newer in business that are looking for a fast way to get money, or they just can't get money somewhere else. And two, people that are pretty well established in business that are trying to get money for the business, but because they don't have business credit built, it's preventing them from getting the money they actually need. In this case, Christine couldn't get the money she needed. She discovered business credit was an answer, and so she went down the road of trying to build business credit. So she first would try to do it on her own, didn't get much success. She hired 2 or 3 companies, I can't remember. One even claimed to do it for her, but the problem was that 9 months passed. Like a lot of people in that same circumstance, she only had 2 accounts after 9 months. It wasn't fast enough. So she ended up finding us, was very skeptical, followed us online, followed us, was in our group participating, actually not our group, she was on Periscope. I think I first saw her on my Periscope a couple years back, and she started watching religiously, and then she went over to Facebook Live, and then she actually started with us as a client and started to actually jump from where she was of getting no results to getting many. So she found us on YouTube, ended up finding us on moving to live streams, and if you follow us at all, you'll hear her in our groups. You'll hear her amongst many other people that are talking about their success, also on our other social channels. So that's a little bit about Christine. A lot of you may be able to relate to this. She struggled to get money. She could not get money at her bank. She didn't know what to do. She went to get business credit. She found some unscrupulous companies that just didn't get her results or didn't get them fast enough. Tried on her own, didn't know what to do, finally figured it out. And now here she is 2 years later with almost nearing $1 million in total credit that she's actually been able to obtain. And here's a quote from Christine. I've been learning every way not to do business credit. When I came across your videos 2 months ago, I really did just take off with the funding. So in the past 2 months, we've seen major improvements, and we're really looking to grow from here. We've been through 3 other companies with little to no results except for an empty bank account. And this comes directly from one of Christine's actual emails to me. So let's look at the kind of approvals that Christine has, so you know the kind of approvals that are available for you as well. Now, this isn't all 800. I couldn't get a bunch more on the slide, so I'll talk about some more of the ones that she's recently obtained. But here's an idea of what you can kind of expect. You start building business credit with smaller accounts. By the way, she started with what are called vendor accounts, which I'm going to talk to you about later. None of those are listed here because I only have so much real estate to show her approvals. So Sprint for 2,000, Amazon 4,500, Tractor Supply, and Exxon for $5,000. These are pretty common. Business credit approvals about 60 to 90 days in, you start to get about 5,000 or higher. And I'm going to tell you later the one thing you need to do to make sure you get the approvals as high as possible. Then you start to move up pretty quick. Fuelman Fleet, $6,000, BJ, 7,000. Now BJ's is a Visa or a MasterCard, I can't remember, that you can use anywhere. So it's not just for use at BJ's. A BP for $8,000. Then you start to make that second jump from about 10 to 15,000 in approvals. Lowe's for 10, Apple 12.5, Shell for 15, Office Depot, Sears for 15. The next, after that, what happens is people start to jump right up to 20 and say somewhere in the 20 to 50,000 range. These are approvals on individual credit cards. So Costco 20, Best Buy 40, Dell 40, Ford 40. Now, Ford is now 140 for her. She's now been able to get approved for 140,000 with Ford, and I'll almost show you what she's buying with their credit here in a minute. Roof Plus, roofing company, 75,000. PNC Bank, she got 2 lines, one for 50, one for 100. Pilot Flying J for 50,000. Now, she's also got approved for, and you'll see this in a minute, she just got a $300,000 approval through one source as well. So that and these are well over 800, and Ford puts her at 8, 9. So I'm pretty conservative on her estimate of credit. But here's her approvals. The Ford again jumped up to 140, and she's got 300 approval, which you'll see in a minute. And here is Christine holding a handful of her credit cards. So it can be done, but yes, but a good majority done without a personal guarantee. If you follow Ty Crandall, you'll get what you need. Here's her actual report. So we can start to see your scores. We can start to see the $5,000, the $9,000, $10,000 accounts start to report here. Here's one of her approvals on her new business that she got, $5,000. Again, I'm going to show you how to get these $5,000 to $10,000 approvals 60 days into this process a little bit later. Here's one that she got for a fleet card for $15,000. Notice this is one of the approvals, as are many. Dell isn't on my approval list, nor was this on my approval list. I just can't get them all on there. And here's one that I love too. Here's where she got $150,000 through RTS Financial Services. And here's when she messed up and realized it wasn't 150. The approval was actually for $300,000. It's one of the coolest posts I've ever seen. Okay, so I just got a call back from RTS about my line of credit. I guess it wasn't 150. It's 300,000. Somebody goofed and gave me the wrong company's approval. So my approval is $300,000 line of credit. That's a heck of a phone call to get when you're actually discovering that your approval is only half of what it should be and your initial was $150,000. So here's a look at some of Christine's business credit reports. You can start to see here the accounts reporting, 84,000 available credit on this one. We can start to see the individual accounts. Now, business credit reports are very different than consumer. They don't say where she got the credit. It just says the sources that she actually got the credit from. So we can see here hardware, not sources, the categories, hardware, office supplies, packaging, etc. Here's another one of her credit reports with another 80,000 in credit that's showing there. And here's some of her acquisitions. Here's what she's doing. Now, keep in mind that Christine's business, their business, her and her husband, Brian, I'm not going to say it was failing, but it was doing not very well at all, circling the drain per se. It was, as she says in air quotes with her fingers, a business at best because they only had one broken down truck on the road. Now they're literally in the process of buying a fleet of trucks. Here's a piece of land that they're looking at right now for the new operation, one of the trucks she's looking at, and here you go. As you can see, this was August 8th last month. Our leases truck for the oil fields, all done on business credit. So she just got this entire truck and again was able to do everything that she needed to do through the process through business credit. So Christine and I become very good friends. It's been interesting to watch her and so many of our clients progress through this journey from struggling to even have a business because they didn't have the money to massive expansion because they do have the money. And here's another recent one from Christine. Just got an approval for Amazon for $3,000. This is her new account. And she's telling on her new company, she's got 10 trades on D&B, 9 on Experian, 14 on Equifax. So what she's telling you is that she basically has what? That's 33 approvals on her one company. She's got 2 companies, 33 trade lines, 33 accounts, 33 credit issuers who've given her credit already. Like I said, way too many to show every single one of them. And here's that RTS fleet. So how do you get these results? Well, there's a lot of things you need to know about business credit. One, it has no impact or effect on your personal credit. It's a really big deal. Look, the reason most people can't get money for their business is that they screw the whole thing up. Honestly, that's what happens. And again, I know a lot of you are going to have, and a lot of you have questions that you're typing in the comments. I will get to them. I will stay at the end to make sure that your questions are answered, but more than likely your questions will be answered as we progress. So I usually say that to the end just so I can go stay on time for everybody that wants me to and still hang around. So I will hang around and make sure your questions are answered. So first of all, you need to know business credit has no impact on personal credit. This is the biggest screw up I see business owners make. Here's how it goes. Business owners start a business. They use their personal credit cards because they're readily available to fund the business. They completely misjudge how much money it's going to take to start or grow the business. They max out their credit cards. That lowers their credit scores. Then they don't have the ability to use their consumer credit for loans and things like that they actually really need to use their credit for. So business credit has no impact on personal credit. There's no inquiry on your current consumer credit report, which doesn't affect your ability to get loans. And that's a big deal because I'm going to teach you later about a financing product that even one inquiry can cost you 20 to 30,000 in funding. So it doesn't have any inquiries because you're using your business credit to get it, and it reports to the business credit reporting agency. So even if you max out these credit cards, you don't even lower your consumer scores 1 point because it only reports to the consumer reporting agencies. Business credit can be done with no guarantee. Look, maybe you don't know my own personal story, but what happened to me was the first business I ever built was a mortgage business in the height of the mortgage industry. And I had the business when the whole industry collapsed. I guaranteed everything in my business. I used my personal credit to get approved. So here's what happened to me. First, we started to default on some business credit cards because we were shutting down the business. I mean, everything was all heck was breaking loose. Okay. So we were starting to actually come in and we go late on a business credit card. What happened was, since I used my personal credit to qualify for that credit card, then unfortunately that late payment went over and can't transferred over to my personal credit report. So the problem is that when the business started to falter, it ruined my personal credit. Then what happened was all the credit issuers lowered our limits to what we owed. So that tanked our credit scores and ruined our ability to get money elsewhere. But what made it worse was, since I guaranteed everything in the business, they came after and took my personal assets. They took all the money from my personal bank account that was there. It wasn't even my money. It was with checks written against that money. So the whole thing was an absolute nightmare disaster because of these two things. I used my personal credit to get the money, and I personally guaranteed everything. Now, years later in my story, I would figure out what business credit was. It's why I'm here talking to you about it today. I didn't know about it. So I fell into this trap, and I refuse to let anybody else fall into the trap unless you choose to. If you choose to guarantee everything for your business, if you choose to wreck your personal credit to grow the business, that's your choice. But you at least need to know this information so you have the choice that people like me didn't have before we actually got this kind of training. So business credit is fast to build. I'm going to teach you today how to get immediate credit before we're done that you could build your initial credit profile and score with. That reports in about 30 days. And once that starts to report, you can start to get to the retail credit tier, the Amazon, the Walmart, those type of things. You can get to Visa, MasterCard credit in 4 to 6 months. I'm going to show you how. Anyone can see your business credit reports. You need to know that. Okay, this isn't consumer credit. With consumer credit, somebody needs your permission to pull your credit report. With businesses, they don't need your permission. It's public information. Your suppliers, lenders, credit issuers, potential partners, potential investors, your competitors, your clients, your prospects, anybody that wants to see your business credit reports can. I was on a podcast with somebody that now has become a friend of mine, and we actually looked at her credit report. She said, "Can you look at my competitors?" I said, "Sure." We pulled them. We were actually going through her competitors, and we were noticing the months that they were late and talking about what was going on in their business. She was charting a plan of attack based on when they went late year after year. So again, your competitors can see this. You need to know that anybody can see these business credit reports. It gives you greater borrowing ability when you have business credit. Look, if you want to get the most money at the best terms for your business, you need to build business credit because that's exactly what it does. And it also gives you double the borrowing ability because you have a consumer credit profile and score that you have a Staples and a Lowe's and a Home Depot. Then you have a business credit profile and score that you have a Staples, a Lowe's, and a Home Depot. It's the only way you can have 2 credit cards at all these retailers because you can have consumer and you can have commercial credit as well. There's no collateral, there's no cash flow, there's no credit. Look, if you want to get a loan or a credit line, you have to have a lendable strength, cash flow, credit, collateral. You don't need any of that with business credit. So even when you are starting a business, even when you can't get other kind of financing, you can still get business credit. And it lets your business fund itself. That's what business credit is. It basically lets your business fund itself so you don't have to use your own personal assets, your own personal money, or that of family and friends to be able to do so, as most do. And it gives you a huge competitive advantage because it's common sense that anybody has access to money has an advantage over people that don't. High approvals. SBA says the approvals on business credit accounts are 10 to 100 times higher than what you're going to find with SBA. I'm going to show you today how to get the first round of approvals, which are about 500 to 2,000. Then in 30 to 60 days, when you start to get retail credit at Amazon, Walmart, how to get that to 5 or 10 grand. Then in the next tier of credit, I'm going to teach you how to get that from 10 to 20, and then the final tier from 20 up. So that puts you in a position to start getting the Visa, the MasterCards with the $20,000 to $50,000 limits. Even startups can qualify, as we've talked about. You don't need revenue. You don't need collateral. You get approved when banks won't help you, and it makes you more lendable. It gets you the best terms to help you get the most money for your business. You can get approved as a nonprofit, and any U.S. business can qualify. Look, we have a lot of people that listen from Canada, from Australia. If you have an entity in the United States, which you can get even if you reside in another country, you can build your business credit. And yes, business credit is available in places like Canada and also Australia. The credit bureaus are different. The system's a little different, but for the most part, this training remains the same with some of those sources that have changed. So as you continue to grow your credit, the business reporting agencies basically recommend you for more money, helping you get high approvals. So this is something people don't realize. Well, the way the business credit building works is this. People think it's based on your time in business. They think it's based on your revenue. And I love these people that actually try to convince me, like, because they weren't able to succeed. And I've helped like 15,000 people. So I know what they're saying isn't correct, but they believe that. But here's the reality. Here's the truth of it that people won't really tell you out in the public space. Business credit building success is about the number of accounts you have reporting on your business credit reports. It's about the number of what we call trade lines, the number of accounts reporting. The more the number increases, the more credit becomes available to you, and the more credit you're recommended from the reporting agencies. So if you want to get 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 limit credit cards, I'll show you how to do that, but I'll show you in real time how this looks on credit reports as you grow the business credit. So you can see here, here's somebody that has a 28 score and $1,000 in recommendation of credit. Here's somebody that has a 96 score and has $2,500 recommended for credit. Now, here's what's scary. This 28 score that you see here, this is a failing credit score, 0 to 100, 100 being the best. Here's the scary part. This person has zero credit, none. The credit report's empty. So what happens in the business reporting agencies is the minute the reporting agencies know you exist, they know three things about you: your name, your address, your SIC code. When they know those three things, they create a credit report for your business. They give you exactly what you see here almost all the time: a 27 to a 29 score and a 6 financial stability score. Medium to high risk. A 0 is the highest risk you can go to show you how low 6 is. To tell you what a financial stability risk score is, it literally depicts your risk of going bankrupt, closing your doors, ceasing operations, going out of business, however you want to word it. That's what it does. That score literally depicts your risk of filing bankruptcy, and this company has a 6 and they have no credit reporting. That's what's scary. You'll be given a report and score even if you have no credit, and it's a failing report and score. So I told you earlier that there's two groups of people that come to us to build business credit: people that are typically newer, can't get money, startup, and people that are very well established. The reason well established businesses come to us is because at some point they try to go get money for their business and they get shut down and denied because of their business credit. And they call us freaking out because of this. They say, I was told I have a failing business credit score. I've always paid my bills as agreed. And we say, settle down, we'll pull your business credit report. We pull it, and this is what we see. They are issued a failing score. They have a low Intella score, which is experience-based score. They have a financial stability score, which shows they're about ready to file BK, all because they have no credit. Now, here's an example of somebody that only has one account on their credit report, and they jumped all the way to 96. The reason for that is because business credit is based on, your scores are based on how you pay your bills. So if you get even one account, which I'll show you how to do, that reports to the reporting agencies on your credit report, you pay that account on time or early, that will take you all the way from a failing score to a really good score. And on some of my slide decks, I actually show that. So we can see that 1,000, the person had no trade lines. 96, the person had one account reporting, and they're automatically recommended for 2,500, 100 to 50% higher than they were before. Here's somebody that now has 3 trade lines. You can see, or here's 2 trade lines, 1 and 2. 2 trade lines on their credit report, 2 accounts. They've now jumped to 7,000 almost in account credit they're being recommended. Here's another person that has 1, 2, 3 accounts reporting, and is recommended for 15.6 in financing. Here's somebody that has 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts reporting and is recommended for almost 66,000. Here's somebody with 15 accounts reporting that's recommended for 724,000. Two interesting things you're seeing here. One, every reporting agency gives a credit limit recommendation. Every one. Experian, D&B, and Equifax. All your lenders and your credit issuers are pulling your business credit reports to make lending and credit issuing decisions. They're deciding how much money to give you, partially based on the recommendation of credit that's coming from the reporting agencies. How do you control that? You just saw exactly how to do it. The more accounts you add, the more accounts you get approved for that report to the reporting agencies, the more you will see the recommendation of credit increase. Now, I'm going to teach you another trick to be able to get higher limits, but the key to getting higher and higher limits is to be able to get more and more and more credit. Now, actually, I'll give you another trick right now. The second trick to doing this is to use the credit. Don't take what I'm telling you here and just think you're going to follow the steps and as minimal as possible to get to the end to get high limit credit cards. It doesn't work that way. The reason Christine has got over 800,000, the reason many of our clients have got $500 million in credit, 500,000 and million credit, which you'll see case studies from them as well, is because they're using the credit. They're not just getting credit cards and then applying and getting more and getting more. They're actually getting credit cards they really use for the business. They're using the credit cards, and in doing so, the future approval limits they get are much higher. Here, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's look at this one for 724,000. Let's look at other ones. Let's look at all these. So we can see, let's just look at this one, not to confuse things. So here's somebody that has 15 trades. Here's the recent high credit limit you've used. Here's what's interesting. If you pull your business credit report, you will not see your limit. You will see the recent amount of credit you've used. This is not the limit on the account. This is the most money you've spent on the account recently. So it's interesting to see that because the reporting agencies are telling you, hey, we think that the amount that you're using is even more important than the limit. And this is what credit issuers are saying. So credit issuers will issue you higher approvals if they see that you're actually using the credit. So let's take a look. If we look at this one, look, she's used 500,000. This person's used 28,000 on this account recently, 60,000, 9,000, 9,000, 4,000, 7,000. Look at how much credit she's being recommended. Look at the person before, right? $100 recent high, $100 recent high. Okay, so as a result of these people that have their approvals aren't as high, the recommendation of credit's not as high because they're not using the credit they're getting. Now look at this one. This person is recommended for nearly 66,000 in credit. Look at the money they're actually using. 26 grand, 100 grand. So the key to business credit isn't just to get accounts to move down the road. It's to get accounts you actually need for the business to use the accounts. When you do that, the recommendation of credit increases from the bureaus, and this is what helps get you these higher approvals as time progresses. So let's talk about how to do this, the steps that Christine followed. So first step is your business needs to be legitimate. We call this business legitimacy. So your business needs to be legitimate to lenders and credit issuers. Okay, think of it like this. Credit issuers and lenders only care about one thing. Are you going to pay them back? If you don't have any business credit history, if you're not giving them your personal credit, if they can't verify your cash flow and don't know you have collateral, man, that's thin ice. They don't know if you're going to pay them back or not. So they scrutinize every single thing on your application to make sure that it reflects that you're legitimate and credible. So you need to make sure that you set up your business entity, preferably a corporation or an LLC. Those are more legitimate than sole props, sole proprietorships, and partnerships. Although you can build business credit for any entity, corporation and LLC is the best. You also need to get your EIN for free from the IRS. Some people think that the business credit is built under a Dun & Bradstreet DUNS number. That's not true. It's not the case. I'll show you later how to get that for free, but it's built under your EIN, so you can't build business credit unless you actually have an EIN number to build it for. Get a professional website and email address. Lenders and credit issuers are going to learn what they're going to learn about you on online searches. You're better off if they learn it from your website. You don't want to have Gmail. You don't want to have Yahoo email addresses. You need to have a professional email address. Mine is info@creditsuite.com. Our website is creditsuite.com. It's a perfect example. Get your domain, preferably your company www.yourcompany.com, and get your email, your name at yourcompany.com, info@support@yourcompany.com. That's a professional domain. Nowadays, you can get the email with the website from places like GoDaddy. Set up a toll-free business phone number. Never use a mobile phone. Never use a home phone as your business phone number on an application. One, get a phone number. Two, make sure it's toll-free. Three, get fax. Four, list it with 411. You want to know why you need to list it with 411? Because you can't fake 411. Lenders and credit issuers in the beginning part of building business credit look aggressively at whether your business is listed with 411 or not for a reason. Because you can't go to 411.com and list your own business. 411.com is not even 411. There's no way for you to go to 411 and list your own phone number. They pick it up when you're listed with Yahoo, when you're listed with Google, when you're listed with Bing, when you're listed with those places, they pick you up that way. Now, I'll talk to you a little bit later about an easy and free way that you can actually do that, where you don't have to wait months or years for them to pick you up organically. But the reason they ask for 411 is because it is so hard to fake. Set up a business address or a virtual address. Look, you need a real business address, or use a virtual address, or use a home address at last resort. Okay, a virtual address is where you're basically renting a box to get your mail, but you don't have a physical location there. You don't have to pay like a full-blown rent. Now, if you use a home address, some sources will still approve you. Others, like Walmart, will never approve you. Okay, the other problem with the home address is or Dun & Bradstreet is now including Google Street Views on your business credit report. So if your business is a home, then you can expect for yourself, all lenders and all credit issuers to be able to pull up a credit report and see a nice, pretty Google Street View picture of your home on the first page. So again, which looks more credible, which has more legitimacy, a home address or a big high-rise building in Tampa, Florida, the high-rise in Tampa, Florida, right? So the whole thing here is creating the perception that you're as credible as possible. Never use a PO box, never use a UPS address. The order is physical address one if you can do it, virtual address second if you can't, home address at last resort. Set up your bank account. Licensing. You need your bank account because they're going to ask you for bank references. You're going to learn here in a matter of minutes about vendors that actually will ask you for things like bank references. So you need to have that bank account set up, and you need to make sure that all this information listed online is congruent. I'm going to show you an example of a client of ours that went from not being able to get money to fixing one thing, where the information she had listed one place was different online than it was listed somewhere else. We found the error, we corrected the error, and in doing so, she was turned around and got an Amex card with no limit, multiple businesses. First business did like $1.5 million in sales the first year in business. Just huge success story, all because they fixed one thing. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we dive in. So now you've set up the business credibly. The next thing you do is you got to see if the reporting agencies know you exist. Remember, I already showed you. You'll be issued a failing score even if you have no credit. Is that you? Yes or no? Well, we need to know. So you've got to do a search with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian to see if they know that you exist. I'll show you an easy way that our clients do that a little bit later. You also want to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet, and I'll go ahead and include it here. You want to get your BIN number with Experian. Your BIN number is a business identification number, and with Experian, your DUNS number is the DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet, okay? That's a universal numbering system. So both of these are identifying numbers. It's how they recognize your business in their database. Every business that has its own location in their database, they'll issue a DUNS for, they'll issue a BIN for. You've got to get those numbers first before you start building business credit. Some of your vendors are going to ask for those things like that DUNS number. And you've got to get business credit monitoring as well. This can be expensive. It could be $190 a month or $200 a month. DMB charges $50. Experian charges $50. So it's $200 a month, and Equifax charges $20. Not a lot of people report to Equifax, but you do need Experian and DMB. That's $200 a month. I'm going to show you later how to get that for about 90% less than that, about 24 bucks a month to make it practical. And you also want to fix any accuracies. If you have inaccuracies on your business credit report, you want to get those fixed. You want to address those. You don't want to be building good business credit on top of bad. So you want to fix that. And we'll talk a little bit later, and I'll show you an easy way to be able to fix inaccurate items on your business credit report as well. So now we got our DUNS number, we got our BIN, we got ourselves set up, we did our reporting agency check. After we went ahead and set up our business credibly, the next thing to do is get what's called vendor credit or trade credit. This is what's called the vendor credit tier. So you begin building business credit with what's called vendor credit or trade credit. Now, these are often credit issuers that will give you terms like net 30. So net 30 basically means that you'd have 30 days to pay off that account in its entirety, right? So what that means is, it means if you get a net 30 and you put $1,000 balance on your card, you have 30 days to pay off that $1,000 balance in its entirety. That's what net 30 means. Now, this is for things you regularly buy. Focus on ones who are easy to get approved with and that who report. Look, there's two criteria you're looking at for vendors. One, they actually report the credit to the business reporting agencies. Two, they'll actually give you credit even when you have none. And I'll introduce you to some of these vendors in a minute. So this is the problem a lot of people have. Over 97% of these trade vendors that exist do not report to the business reporting agencies. This is why we come across so many clients that are stopped in their tracks trying to get money, thinking they have business credit when they don't, because all the people they're paying regularly, those people aren't even reporting the credit. So you've got to get credit with people that report and that will give you the actual credit. And you've got to get 5 or more of these kind of accounts to move to the next step. Now you've got to get 5 or more to get to revolving credit, and you may have to apply more than once with some of these vendors. So some of them, for example, and I'll show you one as an example a little bit later, they make you place 2 or 3 orders before they'll approve you for revolving credit or net account in some cases. In a lot of cases, in about 85% of our cases, we see that clients get approved without placing multiple orders, just on their first order. Sometimes somebody has to place the second or a third order, especially if you missed some credibility points, to actually be able to come in and get approved. We'll talk about that when we dive into some of the sources. And you may need to buy some things you don't need to prove you're responsible and pay on time, or buy things from places you wouldn't normally buy them. So here's an example. I buy a lot of office supplies from Quill. I have a Staples business credit account, and I have an Office Depot business credit account as well. I buy a lot of stuff from Quill because Quill was an initial vendor that gave me credit when Staples and Office Depot wouldn't. They're cheap, they're easy to use. Okay, so again, that's not a source I would usually use. I always would have used Staples in the past. Now I get a lot of my office supplies from Quill. Another example, Grainger. Grainger sells outdoor supplies. I work in an office. I don't need a jackhammer. So I have to buy things I normally wouldn't buy. I buy batteries. I buy first aid kits. It's not like I have a lack of those. I have an office full of crazy guys that do all kinds of shenanigans, right? My kids are in and out of there sometimes. First aid kits and batteries are stuff we all need. So that's not normally stuff I would buy from Grainger, but I'm buying it there to build my business credit. So sometimes you're going to buy from places you normally wouldn't buy from, or places that you normally wouldn't buy. So Uline is a great starter vendor. They report to Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, Quill and Uline, just so you know, Uline sells shipping supplies. Quill reports to D&B. They report to Experian. They're off and on. Sometimes they only report to D&B. Sometimes they're reporting to both. I think right now they actually just shifted back to reporting to D&B. They sell all kinds of supplies, office supplies, over $1 million worth of product. Gimplers is another one. They sell outdoor supplies. They report to Dun & Bradstreet as well. I'm going to show you a lot more. I'll show you and go through some of the vendors that our clients are using, but those are a few just to get an idea of vendors. And here are people that are actually using vendor credit to buy real things for their business, right? Here's a Uline purchase. Here's another Uline purchase here. Here's a Quill purchase. So here's people sharing that what they're buying, right? Printers, they're buying computers, they're buying marketing materials and yard signs, and there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, one of our clients I'll show you a little bit later, she literally used business credit to fund their whole business, which I talked to you about, which is a tax company that did like $1.5 million the first year. And they did it using business credit. But that's the difference between somebody that succeeds with what I'm going to tell you and somebody that fails. Somebody that fails is just following these steps to follow the steps, trying to get to the next level. Somebody that succeeds uses the credit that they get at every level. They embrace it, and they're really using credit they need to fund the business. These are not people that are spending the bare minimum just to get to the next level. These are people that are actually buying real stuff that's really going to help grow their business, and in turn building their business credit at exactly the same time. So now once you've got 5 to 8 of these type of accounts, what we call, again, the retail credit tier, then you can start to move on to what's called fleet credit. That's about 8 to 10 accounts, okay? Then the next step is 14 accounts plus, which is cash credit. So let's talk about fleet credit. Fleet credit is fuel cards. It's Wex Fleet. It's the $300,000 line of credit that Christine got. It's BP, it's Chevron, it's Sunoco, it's gas cards, it's fuel, it's auto vehicle repairs, it's auto maintenance. Do you care? Depends on the industry you're in. Me, I don't care. I have a lot of business credit. I don't have one fleet card, not one, because I don't use my business credit cards to fuel my car. I'm only driving to and from work, and I use my personal credit for that, my own personal credit cards for that. I don't use my business credit for that. But Christine owns a trucking company. You think she uses fleet and gas cards a lot? You better believe it. Filling up an 18-wheeler is $600 to $1,000 plus in money just to fill up the gas tank, the fuel, the repair, the maintenance, all those things. So if you're in an industry like transportation, man, these kind of fleet cards are a lifesaver to your business. Whereas, again, a lot of the retail credit might be for you if you're in another industry. And 14 trade lines gets you to the very final tier, 4 months in, 6 months in. This is Visa cards. This is MasterCards. This is American Express cards. This is what we call the cash credit tier. So here's $5,000 with JCPenney. Here's $13,000 approval with Sam's. Now, this is a MasterCard, so that means this is a MasterCard they could use anywhere, not just at Sam's. Sam's has both. Sam's has a card you could just use at Sam's, and they have a MasterCard you can use anywhere. Here's $10,000 at Lowe's. Here's Conoco. Doesn't say how much it was for, but she says Uline, Granger, Quill, Conoco. These are all the 4 accounts she started with. Here's Pilot Flying J, $5,000 approval. So this is an idea of what that kind of credit actually looks like. Here's some more. $12,000 PNC Bank approval, Flagstar for 10 grand, 22,000 with Chase Inc., 15,000 with Citi. 10,000 with Chase, 8,000 with Chase Inc. Here's a $7,000 Inc. card, 50,000 American Express, 10,000 Bank of America. Here's a 24,000 what is that, American Express approval here. So it's a 14 or 24,000. Here's 50,000 Amex. So this is cash credit. These are Visa cards. These are MasterCards. These are American Express cards that you can use absolutely anywhere. Now, again, with a lot of this credit, you're going to decide whether this has a personal guarantee or not. You determine whether you want to give your social and let them use your personal credit for approval or not. We teach our clients how to get everything I'm showing you here without the guarantee and credit check. So here's a 9,000 American Express. Here's an Inc. approval for 14 grand. Here's a bunch of them. Navy Federal Credit Union, Office Depots, BP, Fleet Card. Looks like 2 Wells Fargo credit cards there that they were able to appoint. And I like the comment. These are a few of my friends. They're a bit shy and don't talk much, but they wanted to come out and say hi. So here's an Allied Bank approval. Here's a Bank of America Visa approval. So again, this is what it looks like. So we're progressing here. And I'm going to show you how our actual clients do it so it makes more sense. But what we're really looking at here is that, I'll go through the steps again. I'll show you how our actual clients are doing it if we have time. Looks like I'm ahead on time, so I think we'll have the time to do it. So here is one of our clients, Marlon. I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my consumer credit business. After failing to get approved for loans at several banks, I discovered Credit Suite. After getting initial vendor credit, vendor accounts, I continued applying and getting all types of credit. Now have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets, totaling over $1 million in available credit. I have fleet credit that I use for auto repairs and fuels. I have cash credit cards with most major banks, including Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I secured almost all this without a personal credit check, without a personal guarantee. And I've been able to get loans with many sources, including PayPal and Cabbage with low rates and loan amounts over 100 grand. Here's Marlon. The right one is one image I pulled from his Facebook, and the left one was him and I in a live stream. I was doing an interview about his results, and I took a quick snapshot of that video that you're able to see there, him holding up his stacks of business credit cards. Look, FTC disclosure. The results you get may vary, right? How much business credit you get depends on two things. One, how much you apply for, right? How much consumer credit can you get? There's no limit. It's just you're limited based on how much you're applying for. Two, how much are you actually using the credit? Again, the reason that Marlon's got $1 million, the reason that Christine's well over 800 is because they're really using the credit to fund their business. And so because they're using the credit and the balances and the amount they're using are higher month to month, then the reporting or the credit issuers see that and they're issuing subsequent future higher approvals as an actual result. Now, here's where things don't get rosy. I don't want to do some webinar and paint this rosy picture that everything's perfect, and if you just listen to my training that you're going to get rich and all this money is going to fall from the sky and you're going to be holding up stacks of credit cards. Here's the reality. This is a hard process if you do not know what you are doing. And that's the one thing I want to make sure that you know. You're going to have a lot of questions. The problem is in theory, you now understand the steps. You get the concept. But when you get into this, how many problems do you run into? How many questions do you try to get answers that you don't know the answer to? And who do you ask those questions to? Some ask in our Facebook group, some ask in our LinkedIn group, some ask in credit forums. But here's the problem. When you ask in any of these groups or forums, you're asking other people that have no clue what they're doing the answer. And so as a result, there's so much misinformation out there. And that's where things, be honest with you, get sticky. So here's some of the questions you may have along the way. I have an LLC I've had for over 10 years. It's a sole prop. Can I put an LLC under it? They're trying to change entity. Do I change entity? So building business credit on your own is not easy. Again, the process is about trial and error. You've got a lot of questions you're going to need answered that you don't know who to answer them. How do you get your business listed with 411? If you shouldn't use your home address, what address do I use? This is my first year running my own business. I've already been successful. I'm looking to build business credit for my company. What's the procedure? What's the step? What's the easiest cash credit card to get? What do you think that you're getting? Why do you think that you're getting denied business credit? I'm spending $800 a week. Any suggestions on gas cards? How can I get small business loan for $100,000? Is Wex Fleet a hard pull, soft pull? Home Depot informed me I need a personal guarantee. Any suggestions? Okay, so on and on, guys. I can go through. There's just so many questions here about whether vendors report. So here's an example. How does Lachlan work? Their Net 30 program. Lachlan doesn't even report anymore. So this person's going to go get an account with a credit issuer that doesn't even report the credit account. So these are the kind of questions you're going to be plagued with. Which entity do you choose? Which is the better process? How do you get it without the personal guarantee? The accounts aren't on my credit report. What do I do? Okay, so I don't want you to think this is rosy. The reality is these questions never stop. We end up getting a lot of these questions and we're not able to get to them all. Because again, you're going to have a lot of questions along the way. I don't want to paint the picture that this is a real simple, easy process that you're not going to run into these issues. You will run into some complications. It's just good that you know that up front, know it's not easy, and know it's an actual process to do. Now, I have time here. So if you're okay with it, and type in yes into comments if this is okay, I'd like to actually show you the real process that Christine went through to get the 800,000, if that's okay. If you have time, I want to be aware of your time. Now, this is the same process Marlon went through. It's the same process that all of our clients go through that takes them from a year and a half to 2.5 years down to only 6 months. Okay, so I've got a bunch, Lee Jones, Asika, Cedric. Okay, a lot of you are saying the same thing. Yes, let's see it. Okay, so let me show you the actual process of what our clients go through to succeed. Now, what I'm looking at right now is my home screen. This is my home of the software we call our Business Finance Suite. We're going to go into the Business Credit Builder. So here's the actual process our clients use, the 15,000 plus clients that we've helped. Not just the theory, here's some slides, but here's the real step-by-step process that they go through. So remember, the first step to building business credit is you've got to set up your business credible. You've got to set up that business legitimate. So in step one, the very first thing we do is exactly what I told you step one was. We come in, we make sure that your business name is set up and everything involved. So for example, if you don't have a business name, you can click right here. You can easily come in and find your state and set it up in your Secretary of State without paying companies like LegalZoom to do it. You can also view restricted industries. This is a big deal. Look, there's a lot of restricted industries that you can't get money if you're in, or it's harder for you to get money if you're in them. So avoiding these these kind of indications in your business name is a must. So you can use this to scrub your business name against, or when you're setting it up in the very beginning. What's nice about the finance suite is that if you're just setting up a business in the beginning, if you're just starting a business, it'll help you through every aspect of setting up that business. If you're already established, you're going to move through step one fairly quick, because your business is already set up. You're just doing some checks to make sure that your business is actually set up the right way. You can even click resources and find somebody that can help you with that if you want. You can even come down here. If you watch my left side of my screen and I click from English to Spanish, if you do speak Spanish, if that's your native language, you can switch in one click. You just see that the entire language of the entire system is just changed from English to Spanish. So that can help you too, if you are bilingual, or if you're even offering this to customers that are. So we set up your business. The next, we set up your address. We talked to you about virtual addresses, what they are, how they work. We help you with setting up every aspect of your business, understanding what kind of business address will work versus not work. We help you with setting up the entity, with getting listed with 411. Remember, you can't fake 411. So here, what we actually do is we pay and have your business listed with 411 for you. You can see right here, submit business phone to 411. Yes, that's it. You enter the phone number you want listed and you're done. So how do we do this? We use a service called List Yourself. I'll tell you, I don't care. They're $360 a year. They're $30 a month. And we use that service for all of our clients. We pay the fee to make sure that all of our clients get listed in 411 indefinitely, as long as they're working with us. The reason we do that is because this is so important, and so many people were skipping it when they had to pay, that we just absorb the cost and pay for it to make sure it gets done. So you don't have to wait weeks or months for that to get listed. You can wait and get it listed right here. We help you set up your website, your email, your EIN, your licenses, your bank account. A lot of things you might not know about your bank account. Like, for example, did you know that you have a third credit score for your business? It's called your bank rating or your bank credit score. These are the type of things that we're teaching you in these video trainings. You can see the videos anywhere from 43 seconds to a matter of minutes. So there's not much writing here, right? We live in a society where, let me watch a 40-second video, please. So each step gives you short video instruction, and it helps you go through the process quickly. It's just part of how we take something that typically takes years and we get it done in only months. Now, once you've set up that credibility, remember what we said? We said you got to go to the reporting agencies. You got to get set up with them. So the next step we take is coming to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and understanding how the reports work and actually getting set up, getting our numbers from them. So this will talk to you about actually getting the DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet. If you want to get your DUNS number, you said set up DUNS, and in one click, we're setting it up for you. Now, Dun & Bradstreet, you can set up the DUNS number and without paying for it. But if you ever try to talk to Dun & Bradstreet, and if you ever try to set this up, they're going to contact you and they're going to sell you a package for $500 to $2,000 that activates your credit profile, and it also gets you your DUNS number. Well, through the finance suite, we get you your DUNS number without paying for it. And in the next step I'm going to show you, we actually help you activate your credit profile with D&B, Equifax, and Experian without paying that $500 to $2,000. So you get your DUNS number in this set. We get you set up with Equifax and do that free search to see if they know you exist. You're able to do that right here. So you're able to quickly come in and go to their website and get set up to see if they know that you exist with Equifax and Experian. We even teach you how to navigate and read the business credit reports as well. Why that's important? Because business credit reports are very different than consumer credit reports, guys. It's just extremely different. Okay. So when we talk about this, and I'm trying to find a view here of the business credit reports. So monitoring business credit is very important because your business credit reports have a lot of discrepancies from consumer credit. There's not one score, there's 5 scores on them. Okay, you're able to come in, and with business credit, you're only able to see the actual name, the category of the business, not the name of the business, reporting, etc. So we're teaching you how to navigate these reports, because knowledge is power. If you understand how your reports and scores work, you can easily control them to have the best actual scores. Remember, just even the piece of advice that your business credit scores are primarily based on how you pay and paying on time, that's the kind of details that will help make sure you have really, really, really good business credit. Okay. Now, at this point, the next step to take is to start building real business credit. At this point, you're going to start getting those vendors. You're going to start getting these trade vendors. Okay. Vendor credit that we talked about. You can see here, you can get SEO services. There's phone services here you can get. There's t-shirt places you just saw, secured credit card that you just saw, accepting payments from your customer. All of these are vendors. Now, we have more vendors vendors here than anywhere else you're going to find for a reason. We make them, we create them. We go to companies that are really legitimate businesses that aren't reporting. We help them get the ability to report to Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. So we create their ability to report just so we can add them to our system to make it easier for you to build business credit. So I told you we take years of business credit building, condense it to months. Here's how it happens. Every source in our system, we're listing who they report to and what they sell and special instructions and qualification, everything you need to get approved. Look, for us, this is common sense. This is the way we look at it. If you know you meet the approval criteria before you apply, isn't that going to be easy? Doesn't that save you a bunch of time? Why apply for accounts you know you're going to get denied for? But when you try to build your own business credit, that's what you're doing. You don't know who will approve you or who won't. When you have 5 accounts, will Home Depot approve you now? Will Lowe's? Will Staples? Will Amazon? Only one of them will. The rest of them are going to require you have 8 to 10 accounts. How do you know which one will? You don't. You go through trial and error. Well, that's ridiculous and takes too much time. So we're telling you here exactly everything you need to know to get approved. So this way you can make sure you meet the criteria before you even get approved, before you even apply. There's 4 different ways that we make sure that you're only applying for credit you know you can get. 1, we list the underwriting guidelines for every source in our system. We've established underwrite relationships with the underwriters, not the people that you call and talk to on the phone. Those people are morons. They don't know what they're doing. We actually get the underwriters on the phone, build relationships, and get this data. Second, we gray out any sources you can't apply for, can't qualify for right now, and we put the ones in orange that you can. So we tell you the ones you qualify for, the ones you don't. That's the second way that we do it. Third, we tell you right up here at the top of each section how many accounts you need reported to be able to move to the next step. And fourth, we tier it into rounds of credit so you know which round of credit to apply for. So if you know which credit to apply for, how many accounts you're going to need to get that account, you know the sources, they're highlighted in orange to tell you you're qualified, and then on top of all that, we list the underwriting guidelines. All this creates an environment where you're only ever applying for credit you can actually get. And this saves you a ton of time from all this trial and error trying to apply and get denied to figure out who will approve you. So once you get a handful of these accounts reporting, oh, and by the way, there's something else that's pretty important here too. And let me show you what it is. So for example, another thing, oh, look at that. Didn't know you guys did that. Love it though. Okay, so another thing that's very important is this. When you look at this, when you look at these accounts, they also say who they report to. Here's why this is important. Remember how I told you you needed 5 accounts reporting, 5 trade lines to move to the next step? What you really need are what's called 5 payment experiences. A payment experience is the reporting of an account to a business reporting agency. Here's the thing. When you know that Uline reports to 2 reporting agencies, does that count as 1 or 2 payment experiences? It counts as 2, right? So if you know that the ones that report to 2, 3 reporting agencies versus 1, this helps you dramatically expedite your business credit building. You can focus on the ones that report to multiple reporting agencies first, because 1 account gives you 2 payment experiences, which gets you twice as close to the 5 you'll need to move to the next step. Huge benefit of knowing where every account reports. So once we've got those initial accounts, now we actually set up your business credit monitoring. Now, again, you can go to Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet, and you can do that directly with all of the reporting agencies, okay? But again, if you do so, you're going to pay a bunch of money. You're going to pay $210 a month for that. So if we go to set up monitoring with Dun & Bradstreet, let's look at it. Let's set it up right now. Dun & Bradstreet's monitoring, you can see, is $149 a month. Okay, you can also see that if we come over here and we go to Experian, we do not want Experian scores. You got to have Experian reports. You don't need the scores. You need to see the accounts reporting. So with Experian, if you come up and you go in to set up Experian, it's $50 right here for the report. You don't want the score. You need the report. So it's $200 a month to be able to set up credit monitoring. You can set that up right here with all the reporting agencies. We even help you fix inaccurate business credit right here. But if you come over to report dashboard, then what we also do is we also integrate directly with NAV, so you can access Dun & Bradstreet and Experian credit reports for only $24 a month. You just saw direct. You spend $200 a month with the reporting agencies. You spend $24 a month here. It's almost a 90% savings. It's almost a $2,200 savings every year. You get your Dun & Bradstreet score. Here's your Paydex score. Here's your business summary. Here's summary data, lawsuits. By the way, this is Pixar. This is a real business credit report for Pixar. You know why I can show you this? Because it's public information. Anybody can see it. So here's all the information. Here's the accounts that are reporting on the Dun & Bradstreet credit profile. You can see the high, you can see the balance, you can see the terms of the account, you can see public records on your business credit report. You can get alerts when things change to notify you. You can download your credit report. You can even do the same thing with Experian. Here's your score. Days beyond term summary. Okay, here's your stats of where you compare to other businesses in your industry, your business info, factors inflecting your score summary data. I mean, this is a full-blown credit report. It's what it is. It's just instead of spending $200 from the reporting agencies, you're actually coming in and getting all this information for only $24. That alone saves you $2,200 a year. Alerts, everything you need with the actual reporting agencies. So again, this is what you do this in step 4. Why? Because in step 3, you got business credit. Now it's time you monitor that business credit. You got to see these accounts reporting. Remember, to move to the next tier of credit, you need to have a certain amount of accounts reporting. You can only see that if you can see your business credit reports to know how many accounts are reporting. Once you know how many accounts are reporting, well, now we start to get into the fun stuff. This is all revolving credit. Notice I grayed out the recommended on these to show you how our system looks when you don't qualify. Because again, that's one of our safeguards to help expedite the process. So United Rentals, Northern Tool, Wawa, Ryder, 7-Eleven. I mean, guys, there's so many different kind of credit. Almost every major retailer, whether it's Meijer that's a grocery store, or ORR Safety that's a safety company, or Valvoline, Fleet Card, or Amazon that offer business credit. Almost every one of these, almost every major retailer offers business credit without a personal guarantee or credit check. Even Macy's does. Here's Budget. There's a WEX Fleet Card. There, Conoco, Exxon for gas cards, and on and on and on, right? There's so much retail credit. And as you move through the tiers, we're telling you how many accounts you need, and we're giving you the underwriting guidelines for every single one of these accounts. So if you want to know that you actually can come in and get Home Depot, for example, well, then you can come in to actually apply for Home Depot. You get the underwriting guidelines for every source, okay? You get the description, you see the repayment experiences, you see the actual backlink to apply. It was one of the questions we got the other day. How do I apply for these accounts? They all have backlinks. Here's their backlink. It's not something they publicize. You have to find the backlink. Notice Home Depot is underwritten by Citi. You're not even going to Home Depot's link. You're going to Citi's link. So again, we even give you the backlinks to come in and start getting the Lowe's and the Walmart and the Sears. Sears, as long as you're around, you're still around now, which is good. Sinclair, Conoco, and on and on and on, right? So it just continues to get more and more credit as you go. The problem is that if you come in and try to get Lowe's too early, you just get denied. But by tiering it to steps, you'll know which ones to get. Here's PNC Bank, Ally Car Financing. This is auto vehicle financing. All this without a personal guarantee. Here's MasterCards. We're starting to get into Visa cards without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. And again, here is even more non-reporting accounts. So after you make it through, let's be honest, the hard work is step 1 through 3. Setting up the credibility could be easy if your business is already set up. This is easy. Step 2, simple, super simple. Set up your BIN number with Experian, your DUNS with D&B. Start building business credit. Step 3, that's where you get the initial vendors. And then you set up your monitoring. That's it. The rest of it, this is all you want. It's like you coming in and just getting whatever credit you want to get. So the rest of it's just giving you access to Amex and all this credit that you may want to get as you actually may want to get it. There's even loans in here. There's financing. There's places like Fundbox that will actually do credit lines for you with no credit check. There's cell phone companies like T-Mobile, Apple's in here, Best Buy. So almost every major legitimate funding source or business credit, every retailer offers business credit and is available here, as you can see. Now, what's nice about this, and I would tell you a little bit about financing as well, is that we also work with over 1,000 lenders in every legitimate type of financing as well in one place. So the idea here is that you never need to do this on your own. If you're building business credit, one of two things happens. Either you see what you just saw and you at least have a lot more information than you had, or maybe you want to work with us. I don't know. But if you're working with us, you're not just going through a system step by step. Our business advisors help you through this process. They call you 5 times the first 5 days. They'll spend all the time with you on the phone to even go through the steps with you on the phone. They will work with you hand in hand. You can't have people apply for credit on your behalf. These credit issuers won't accept what are called third-party applications, but our team will work with you hand in hand through the process. We also have a finance team of finance officers and processors that help you with all aspects of getting money. Because here's what we found. There's tons of money available for business owners. Most people just don't know where to go to get it. If you go to On Deck, which is the biggest revenue merchant cash advance lender, if you have perfect credit, they can't help you. They don't offer that kind of funding product. So we also work with every legitimate kind of funding product as well. So if you want to buy equipment or inventory, or if you have collateral such as 401k, stocks, bonds, equipment, inventory, you want to get financing for, maybe other people around you want to invest in your business, they have it, you can. Here's unsecured business financing. You can get up to $150,000 in no doc credit lines, even as a startup, if you or a guarantor have a 685 plus FICO score. These are real credit lines. Revenue financing. We've got sources that don't even do credit checks at all. If you've been in business 3 months or longer and have consistent revenue and good bank account management, it opens up these kind of options based on your revenue. Some don't even have, again, credit checks. Again, as I mentioned, the 401k, the stocks, maybe you want to get commercial real estate. Maybe you have account receivables or purchase orders, or you want private equity. We work with every legitimate funding source. So if you have a lendable strength, cash flow, credit, or collateral, then you can get all the money you need through here as well. We even graduate you from funding tier to funding tier to get you term loans, lines of credit, even SBA loans. So we start and get you the financing you can get. We work with you on a plan to get to the next tier and a plan to get to the next. So let me give you an example. If you don't show profits on your tax return, you're not going to get low interest rate lines of credit and term loans. Most people don't know that. So we help our clients understand that, show a little bit of profit at the end of the year. Then the next year, we're getting them low interest rate lines of credit and term loans. Then we help them get ready for SBA. And the next year, we're getting them into an SBA loan. So we graduate them all the way from beginning financing for startups all the way to the end as well. And there's some other cool stuff here too, but I don't have much time. If you ever want to see the value of your business, you can come into our valuation tool with Biz Equity. And as you can watch the number at the top right of my screen, in real time, the estimate of the value of your business changes. Look, you're growing your business because you want it to be worth something, whether you hand it to a family member or sell it, whatever it may be. This helps you keep an eye on the real value of your business without spending $2,000 or $1,000 to $3,000 for an actual valuation. You can come in and get a running total of the value of your business at any time that you want to as well. And if you were interested, if you did want to offer this as an actual program, well, then we have everything you need to actually sell business credit financing, this system, white label in your name yourself. So we actually have partner training, and this walks you through. I won't spend a bunch of time on this because a lot of you might not be interested, but this actually teaches you everything about business credit financing, how to sell the finance suite, how to sell business credit financing as a primary, secondary service. We even have a resource library with every resource you could possibly imagine, from ebooks, emails, flyers, articles, marketing videos. I mean, just everything you need. It's like a franchise without paying a hefty franchise fee. So these are all professional videos that you could use to basically market business credit and financing. All these are professionally done. So again, the nice thing about this is if you ever do want to just make some money on the side, or you want to make this your primary business, you literally, without paying a hefty franchise fee, can get in here and you're able to basically get all the resources you need to basically build a successful business. We even have a program where we do all the selling for you and even closing for you as well. And you can see here that here's one of our guides, so you can see the quality of materials there. And again, I'll bounce off this because I know a lot of you have no interest in this. You're like, what are we talking about? I'm not even interested in this, but I want to show you this one other thing. So this is, for example, a year's worth of emails. We give you a sales funnel. All the content of the sales funnel is completely built. What you should know about business credit, but probably don't. Unsecured business financing. So we give you, again, this is about 70 pages worth of content just to set up an email autoresponder. So everything you need to successfully run a business credit and financing business as well. So here's one of our clients, Dr. Brandon. He originally approached us to get 417 grand. He needed to pay off a tax lien, and he was in the process of closing his practice because the IRS was coming after him. So he had credit issues, no collateral, already been denied. Through multiple rounds of funding, we were actually able to get them $1.5 million, over $1.5 million, 1.52 million in funding. And we got that from revenue lending, from cash advances, from unsecured financing, from business credit, from private equity. The nice thing about working with all financing in one place is that we can get you the most money at the best terms. Most lending sources offer 1 or 2 programs. We offer over 35. So that helps you get money when you typically won't qualify other places. It helps you get even more money because we're able to put together a bunch of programs. Like Dr. Brandon, we use private equity, we use business credit, we use unsecured business financing, we use revenue lending, we use merchant cash advances. So we use like 7 different kinds of loan programs from completely different sources to get the money he needed. He was trying to get the money from one source, which is why he was failing. When he got with us, we have all this access. We're just able to get him a ton more money. So look, you're watching this webinar on your computer, phone, or tablet because you want the easiest and fastest way to get money and credit to grow, right? You probably have already struggled to get the money and credit you need and have yet to find a simple solution to be able to do that, okay? And that's more than likely why you're here. You're looking for the easiest way to get the most money for your business. So I don't know, you came out of this with a bunch of good info that you didn't coming into it. So now you at least have a path forward. But I think our finance suite that I just showed you and working with us could be a really good fit for you because you're getting business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social security number through the top selling system. Okay, we've sold over 15,000 finance suites, and to give you an idea of complaints, we have 0. Literally, look online, I'll show you later. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we are not accredited. We've never paid them a dime. We have an A+ because we actually have never had a complaint. We've never had complaints from any client anywhere on any online review source. You know how hard it is to help 15,000 people and not have complaints? It's because it works. What we're doing actually works is the reason we're having such success. You're getting access to funding to start your grow your business as well. You could do this in English and or Spanish. We're helping you set up your business credibly. We're helping you meet these legitimate requirements. Now, we talked about some, but not all. But we're helping you set up your business name and avoiding the high-risk industries. We're helping you set up your entity and your EIN. We're paying the money to list you with 411, setting up your phone, setting up your address, your email, your online listings, your merchant. Like I said, one of our clients, I thought I had her case study in here. I didn't. Went from getting denied because she didn't know why. She went to her bank and got denied. We did a cross-check and found that her Secretary of State records had a different name and address than she was using on her actual application. Once she corrected the spelling of the name and the address, she immediately got approved. So this is the kind of stuff that we get through in this congruency step. Now, we also help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies. You're not paying Dun & Bradstreet $500 to $2,000 to just get a DUNS number and activation, a credit profile. We're doing it with all 3 reporting agencies, even getting you your BIN number with Experian, so you don't have to pay for that. We're helping you dispute and fix inaccuracies as well in the step when we talked about monitoring. We have the largest supply of starter vendors. Those are the ones you start building initial business credit. This is where most people struggle because they can't find any. We have the biggest supply because, as I said, we create them. We have the biggest supply of retail credit as well, and the hard to find cash sources. You saw me scroll through. There was a ton of Visa, MasterCard, and Amex sources, even auto vehicle financing, Ford, GM, Ally, just to name a few, without the personal guarantee and without the personal credit check. We also help you get the money, the cash flow financing, asset financing, the unsecured financing for startups, the private money. Look, everybody's not going to qualify for this, but the good thing is that when you're a client, we are indefinitely at your disposal. So anytime you want money, our finance team can tell you everything that's going on in the lending landscape and help you get qualified. Term loans, line of credit, some of them with no credit check, as we mentioned as well. And with our partner program, we're basically giving you a franchise without the franchise fee, the training, the contracts, the sales scripts, the information on doing seminars, and an actual 8-page website, press releases, 15 PowerPoints, 10 ebooks, a year's worth of emails, social media posts, videos, webinars, basically everything you would need to successfully offer this as a service. Finance training and videos and flyers and articles and everything you need to be successful, even sales team training as well. So if this makes sense, and if you say, look, I would like to work with you guys and take years of this from doing it on my own and get this to months, then I want to make it worth your time because you spent the time with me today. And I also want to make sure you have access to some special bonuses. So if you go to our website right now and look at our pricing, our ultimate program with payments is over $7,100, $7,176. What I'm going to tell you today is only valid for this webinar, okay? And this will expire Friday. There's one of two options. If you want to work with us directly, you could build business credit, get financing, get your own finance suite, work with the finance officers, work with the business advisors, work with our team to help you through this process for 7 payments of $497 or 1 payment of $24.97. Now, do not stop, do not leave, do not never contact us because that's too much. We will work customized payments for you. What that means is it means we have to have payments that people can check out on our website, but we will work with you on customized payments for affordability. We have funding sources that can get you funding. We have sources that all they do is finance things like this. So we have plenty of ways to make this affordable if for some reason you can't actually afford those payments. Now, if you want to offer business credit and financing as a service and get it for your business, well, then you can do it with 7 payments of $597 or 1 payment of $34.97. Now, second thing to think about and keep in mind, your 411 listing's $360. DMB is going to charge you $500 to $2,000. Your credit monitoring alone is going to cost you $2,500 doing it on your own, where it's only $300 a year. Credit monitoring alone, you save $2,200 a year for us, and it's only $2,500 to even get going and have the whole thing pretty much done for you. So again, it's going to typically take you about 18 to 24 months to do this on your own. That's okay. You can take my free training and do it on your own. Okay, you now know what you need to know to be able to do so. But you also know and have the expectation that you're going to have questions, you're going to have problems, and know that it's going to be hard to find people to answer those and give you the right answers, which is why it's going to take you more time. And again, how much can that extra 18 months save you? If you had the money in 4 months, what could you do with it 4 months from now that could help you not wait 18 months down the road to get the money you actually need to grow the business? And keep in mind, it's actually cheaper to work with us and do it on your own, period. You're going to have to go pay for things like 411. Maybe you pay for the DUNS. You have to pay for business valuations. You have to pay $2,500 for credit monitoring. It'll cost you thousands just more for the stuff that we have rolled in that we give you at absolutely no additional cost. So we will customize a payment plan for you. We work with places like Fundbox Pay that can literally finance it over like 12 months to make it even cheaper. We can even get you all kinds of business financing, loans, etc. As well. And you can do it risk-free. We're letting you make payments, but you get immediate access to be able to go in and start building your business credit and work with our team, even when you make your first payment, because we know you're going to love it. Look, I'm not going to let you pay something over 7 or 9 months that I think you're going to hate and get out of really quick, right? Doesn't make sense. My business advisors do the majority of the work in the first month they're working with you because they're calling you 5 times the first 5 days. They're spending hours on the phone with you, helping you get through the most difficult steps. We wouldn't do that if we didn't know that you wouldn't love it. So creditsuite.com/webinar. It's really simple. If you're going to creditsuite.com/webinar, all you then do is figure out what you want. This is to build business credit, get financing. This is to build business credit, get financing, and offer it as a service. You can even hover your mouse here and get details on every one of these bullet items, and you can see the bonuses, you can see the discounts. You just simply find the option you want, click buy it now, and then all you have to basically do from that point is just enter the information, figure out which option you want, whether you want payments or one pay, and that's it. You're done. That's the process. Okay, so it's pretty simple. And once you complete your order, you immediately get your login information and you immediately have access. Plus, I'm throwing in 4 bonuses as well. We're going to spend 30 minutes with you on the first phone call to get you set up the right way. We want you to get as far in the process as possible. My goal is call 1, we get you through step 3. Bonus 2, credit monitoring with Dun & Bradstreet. We don't give that to everybody, but I am going to give it to you guys because you attended this webinar for $24. Saves you about $2,000 plus a year. Free business valuation. You're getting the valuation service anytime you want to see an idea of your value. But this is an actually 28-page report that really details how much your business is really worth, even gives a comparison of your business against others. So you can actually really see in depth what you can even do to improve the value of your business, and a free ready to publish book, which is mine, Business Credit Decoded. I'm giving it to you with the ability for you to basically change the bio, make some changes, and publish it as your own book. Why? Because published authors have immediate credibility, and I think this can help you in your business as well if you have that credibility. And we're going to give you an unconditional guarantee. If you get started but don't feel what we receive is worth every penny what you paid for, that you have or will be able to make many times what you spent, we give you 100% of your money back. It's that simple. Will we do this? We've never had a complaint. Does that say anything about it? I mean, look, for me, reputation says everything. And you can research our reputation online. You could just do an easy search for it. But if I go right to our website and we go and look at our credibility, just to give you an idea here, okay, here I showed you some approvals. Here's what my world really looks like. Here's approval after approval after approval. There's hundreds here. I've shown you a few, right? So you can see all these so far, and I'm not even halfway down the page. So I can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you can too. Okay, you can see that we have Trustpilot reviews as well. These show all of our real reviews, 4, 5, 3s, 2s. You can scroll down and see them. These aren't people just leaving us stars, guys. This is pretty detailed information, okay? So, while my personal credit score was only 620, I established 4 of 7 trade lines that are active, and I have a PAYDEX score of 80. The credibility allowed me to secure a line of credit for $4,500 with Amazon in less than 1 week, just because I listened and watched a few webinars by Ty. I mean, guys, you get it, right? Like, you could look. This isn't one. This was August 25th. Okay, so you can see all the real reviews. Okay, here's somebody, wasn't nice, just purchased, can't give it a better rating yet. Okay, so these are all detailed reviews of what kind of success people are really having. You can see our Better Business Bureau here as well. We're A+. We are not accredited. Woohoo! I celebrate this. I celebrate it because accredited means that somebody paid the BBB money. It means that the minute you pay BBB money, they give you an A+. We didn't pay them a dime. We've never had a complaint, which is why we actually have the A+ rating. You can see testimonials. You can see our press coverage. You can see and these are all video. If you click on any of these, you'll actually go to another page that'll actually give you the real video testimonial, not some little one-line testimonial somebody scribbled down that you don't know if it's real or not. Okay, these are all real people. Okay, you can come here and Google any of these people, and you can Google their company and you'll be able to pull them up, okay, because they're real people right there. Okay, so you can see right here. So again, these are testimonials. They're all videos, so you can learn more there. And you can even see us in the press, see where we're featured. I'm not going to go over all that with you. You don't get that kind of reputation if you're ripping people off, guys. So to give you a recap, your own finance suite, 24/7 access. It's mobile friendly, so you can sit on the toilet per se if you'd like with your mobile phone or your iPad and get this done. Concierge business advising, okay, the free DUNS number, the setup with Dun & Bradstreet, the setup with Experian, the largest supply of vendors, the largest supply of store credit, unsecured financing, finance officer support, 411 listing, the hard to find Visa, MasterCard, American Express cash sources. We help you fix inaccuracies with all 3 of the actual reporting agencies. We help you get fleet credit. We help you get auto vehicle financing. We help you save $2,200 a month on monitoring and get cash flow financing. And with our partner program, we're giving you the equivalent of a franchise without the hefty franchise fees. It's like a business in a box where everything you need to have a turnkey business is given to you. We're giving you the 4 bonuses, the 30 minutes phone call with our team, the monitoring that saves you the $2,200, the business valuation report, and the ongoing evaluations, the ready to publish book that instead of writing your own book, a guarantee that if you don't like it for any reason in 30 days, we give you your money back. Listen, guys, we don't want you here if you don't want to be here. This is a process. Even though we take years and condense it to months, it's a process. You're either committed to the process or you're not. If you're not committed, here's your money back. Go. We want people here that are serious. But again, we measure our results based on how far people progress through the actual system. So I want to make sure I answer any questions that you guys have. So if you have questions, go ahead and type them in. I'm not going to have time to answer everybody's questions. So some I might answer to you in the chat. Some I might verbally call out. Some I might email you. I might even have our guys call you on the phone and answer them, but I'm going to sit here and try to answer as many questions as what you may have. But again, my goal here is that you left with a ton of information that you didn't have. All kinds of financing that's available, business credit, the process, how it works, the overview of what's possible, the steps. Even if you don't want to work with us, you got enough free information here to have some success, even if it will take you much longer. But again, I also want to answer any questions you have for people that maybe do want to work with us, because maybe you do want to take the years of business credit building, condense it to months. So I'm going to hang out here and we're going to go through this. Okay, we already talked about some of these questions earlier coming in. Can you do balance transfer from business lines to personal lines? Yes, you can. You can do it just like anything else. All kinds of credit issuers give you those checks to do balance transfers. The same thing on the business side as well. Tell you that why we even use our personal credit. Wish we had known about you then. Okay, I'll have to tell you what happened to us, why we used our personal credit. Look, Christine, don't feel bad. A lot of people use their personal credit and then learn about this after the fact. I'm guilty as charged as well. Having a bit of a hard time getting my third vendor. And again, hopefully this helped you here as well. What if your address is wrong on your Experian? Then you dispute it with them. Now, if you're working with us, we help you through the process of disputing. If you're not, go get your credit monitoring with Experian, and you can dispute it with them directly as well. Okay, so a bunch of these, Ty, I have time and I'm in the same industry as Christine. That's great, Greg. Christine's great. She talks about trucking all the time, and you'll see her in her presence as well. She helps a lot of our clients, and a lot of our clients are in trucking as well, because trucking is just a natural fit for business credit. Marcy says, I already have credit and have accounts with Amazon, Lowe's, it's a bunch of these. I need to know what to do if I'm already using my home number, my home address, and already have an account with you through Renatus. I need to know what step to take. If you're already working with us, then immediately call our business advisors and we'll help you through this process, because we need more information. If everything you have so far is listed under one address, then keep using the same address. Don't change it. That might be the best course of action. But again, some sources like Walmart won't approve you. If you want sources like Walmart, then you got to take the chance. Then you got to take the step of changing your address with all of these credit issuers everywhere online. That's easier if you use a service like Yext, Y-E-X-T, where you can change your information one place and they change it everywhere online. But it's a nightmare. I mean, changing it with the Secretary of State, with the IRS, with every place your business is listed, with all of your utilities, that's going to take some time. But you can do this like your home address. You're already having some success. But if you want all the accounts, you're going to have to go through a pretty rigorous process of changing the address on all those things, which is why I advise you choose the right address right from the beginning for anybody that's paying attention to that answer. Can you please email these presentations? We won't. We can, if you've stayed through the entire webinar, email us info@creditsuite.com. We can get you a copy. And as a partner, you already have copy to these as well. What happened when you get denied? Is it negative? No, it doesn't affect you. Inquiries don't adversely affect your business credit score. It doesn't adversely affect you. It's just some sources won't let you apply again for 6 months to 12 months. So if you blow your approval applying for an account you don't know if you'll get, just keep in mind it may be 6 to 12 months before you get that account again. What phone number should I use on vendor applications? My local number. Use your toll-free number is what you'd want to use. Is there a replay? Yes. If you came into it late, you will be served a replay tomorrow. It'll take through the night or partially through the night for this to even do what it does for us to even get the actual video out of it. Credit Suite rocks, Christine. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What if you've taken or completed Diamond steps? Well, then give us a ring. I mean, look, the only thing that matters is how many accounts you have reporting. A lot of people say, okay, can I get a discount working with you guys? I've already partially through the process, and we ask them what they've done and they set up some stuff in step one. But if you've got approvals and you've already got a handful of accounts, well, then get in touch with us. Look, I don't expect that you just enroll because you saw this webinar or you hear me talk. Give us a call, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. Email us. Let us talk about your individual scenario. If you are already part of the way, we might just even give you more of a discount because you've accomplished a large part of it. But it's going to depend on how many accounts you already have reporting. That's what we're really going to be looking at. My personal credit's about 722. Great job, chat. And now I'd like to get my business. I'll have an EIN and business address, business banking this week for my estate. I'll be ready to start next week. You should get in touch with us because in your case, you may want to choose the unsecured business financing option. It's up to you. Remember, we talked about this option back here when we talked about the finance my business section that works great for startups or anybody. It's no doc financing. You can get up to $150,000 in credit lines for your business. Here's what I didn't tell you. These are 5 credit lines that report to the business credit reporting agencies. So not only are you able to get up to 150 grand, you're able to build your business credit at the same time. Huge if you're willing to provide the personal guarantee, if you're okay with the inquiries, if you want physical cash to start the business, and you also want to build your business credit as fast as possible, this is a great way to do it. You get 50 to 150 grand typically, and you get 5 trade lines. So you skip the vendor step with this and get real cash credit, but you need a 685 plus score for you or the guarantor to do it. So chat, pay attention to that. Get in touch with us, because this is a great way for us to get you started. 2, reporting to Amazon, net 55. What's next? Doesn't make any. You said two to reporting Amazon. If you only have 2 accounts, you know the next step. You got to get more accounts. You're going to need more vendors, because you need to have 5 accounts before you'll get to revolving credit, 5 to 8. I'm stuck on the trade line situation. Everyone I go to wants money up front. Look, I don't know what you're asking about, but if you're looking to buy trade lines, you want to stay away from that. You should never buy trade lines. If the reporting agencies know you have, they'll shut down your credit profile in its entirety. Okay. If you're going to, that's it. That would be the only answer I would have to somebody charging you up front for a trade line. None of the sources we talked about today would charge you up front for giving you a trade line. You just have to buy things and pay the bill, right? That's how credit is built. Are physical business addresses better? Yes, they are better than virtual addresses. Yes, absolutely. The number listed on the screen, that is our phone number. Yes, that's the number to call. Call us right here or email us right here, and that is the best way to get in touch with us. Is there an introductory at 0%? Yeah, it's for 6 to 18 months is how long, and usually it's 12 to 18 months, Dwayne, on those unsecured business financing program that we talked about. We have a 15-year-old company. Congrats, that's awesome. My wife has 760 plus. Again, congrats. Been trying to get help to get our credit, but don't seem to be getting anywhere. I'm an ultimate. I'm struggling to get set up. I have loads of hot leads. Also tried the done for you. Okay, so get in touch with us. Been in contact with Kevin. Okay, Kevin's not the best person to get in touch with. What I need you to do, Anthony, is who did you talk to that enrolled you initially? That is the person I immediately need you to email. Explain to them what's going on. They can help you either get these leads converted into sales where you're doing it or we're doing it. Either way, you should know the 760 can get you an unsecured credit line as well. And I'm not sure where you're stuck with building your business credit. We can help you with all of this. Just do me a favor. Who is the person that helped bring you in? That is the person that is important that you really reach out to. That is the person that is going to be the best to help you with all these things, so we can actually make sure that you get an answer and get some actual results. So hopefully that helps you there, Anthony. Great info. Thank you very much, Cedric. What if I start and stop during the process? Is there an expiration date on my service contract with you? No, there's not. As a matter of fact, we give you, I don't like to say this, we have a $50,000 guarantee that we guarantee that you're going to get at least $50,000 in money in our system, or we'll work with you until we do. I rarely ever mention that guarantee, because when I do, people come in and they go, okay, where's my $50,000 credit line? And that's not what's going to happen. It's $50,000 in credit and financing and through this whole process. The reason the guarantee exists in the end of it is what's important. We will work with you until you do. We have people that come in, get started hot and heavy, and then business and life gets in the way. Then they show up 6 months later and they're like, hey, I get 12 months with your business advising team. I just blew 6 of them. We don't do that. We're going to work with you. If you fall off the map, Ashley, what we're going to do is we're going to contact you until you're not contacting us. And then when you contacted us again at that point in time, what we then do is pick it up. We start the process again and we start servicing you from there. So you're handled. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Great webinar time. I'm on my way collecting the capital. Awesome. That's great. Congratulations. I won't give up. Keep going. Can I white label the business credit? It is white label, Ashley. The whole system, you have 2 choices. You can have us do all the work in our name, or you can white label your logo, your branding, our team. The whole system is set up as white label, so you know. I have large net 30 accounts with multiple vendors that don't report to any business reporting. Is there a way? There's not. Yes, you could pay Dun & Bradstreet $500 to $2,000, and they can add those accounts to Dun & Bradstreet credit report, possibly. They can't be utilities. They can't be banks. They can't be major credit cards. They can't be rent or lease. But and it's not easy. It's hard to get in touch with Dun & Bradstreet to get this done, but it is possible. but it's the only way it's possible. You should talk to your vendors and see if they're willing to take steps to get signed up with the reporting agencies. If they are, then go to creditsuite.com/reporting, and then that will give them a guide on how to actually get set up with the reporting agencies to actually report. So hopefully that helps you. I'm struggling to get by. I have a cash advance already. Oh, those are tough, man. 5 to 10 grand more to cover my expenses ASAP. What can you suggest? Well, what I would do is this. I would give us a call or send us an email, because you're not talking about business credit. You're talking about you need financing. There's a way we can refinance you out of a cash advance. We've also got some really cool credit lines for this amount of money you're talking about that don't even require credit checks with interest rates less than 5%. So we've got some options that could work for your scenario. I would give us a ring, 877-600-2487, or email us info@creditsuite.com, and we will help make sure that you're taken care of. So I don't have a lot of other questions I'm going to get to now. I might answer some as I get ready to wrap up here. And again, if you did put in others I haven't answered, I'm not trying to neglect you. I will get you answer to those questions. We'll probably either call you, we'll reach out by phone, we'll email you, one way or the other. So look, my goal is that you finish this with more information than you came in, right? You now know what business credit is. You know the steps. You know what's possible. You know some of the pitfalls. You know some of the questions you're going to run into. You know some of the hacks that take you from years to only months. You know some of the expenses. I mean, you're leaving here with probably the most detailed explanation breakdown of how business credit works than you've ever received. So even if you don't buy and pay a dime to us, my goal is that you walk away with the knowledge, right? I got burned by not having business credit. It pushed me almost to the verge of personal bankruptcy. Not being able to financially support your family is the worst experience I could ever wish upon anybody. It was absolutely horrible. And it is something I've dedicated my life to making sure that other entrepreneurs like you never have to face willingly. You know going in what it is. Look, all the stats are the same. Almost all small businesses fail, nearly 90%, and they fail because they don't have money. That's what it comes down to. Well, they fail because of two reasons. They don't have money, and the business owners screw up. We screw up because we don't know what we're doing. We kind of making stuff up as we go in our business, right? I mean, anybody that knows a business knows this. We are figuring things out as we go. The more money you have to afford yourself room to make mistakes, the better chance you have of survival. SBA, Inc., Forbes, all of them say exactly the same thing, every survey that's done. So you at least now know the steps to build business credit. You know some of the financing is out there. You know the steps to get the money to be able to grow the business. If you're working with us, yeah, it's easy, because our specialty is getting you the most money at the best terms. We're the only company that helps you build business credit and get financing in one platform. Only company that works with every legitimate funding program in one place. Only company that gives you full service advising and coaching to help actually you succeed with building business credit. This is why we have the reputation. It's why we've helped so many. It's why our business is tripling in growth year after year after year. We believe in doing goodwill and helping. And then there's a fraction of you that will want to work with us and get the fastest results. And there's a fraction that will want to will want to kind of, pedal along and do it on your own. And that's okay. Anything in this world you can learn to do if you're willing to dedicate enough time to do it. But a lot of you don't want to dedicate the time. You want the results in 4 months versus 18. You want to save the $2,200 on monitoring, knowing you're going to spend $2,500 to enroll. I mean, and those type of things make sense. We'd love to work with you. So that's what we do. We help you take years of business credit building and condense it to only months. We're helping you access every legitimate funding source in one place. We're working right now to give you an idea of things to come. We've just formulated a relationship with LexisNexis to create the first ever front-facing consumer credit score that pulls LexisNexis data. And we're integrating it right with our finance suite. So you're going to see the actual real data that lenders are using, because we're pulling it from Small Business Financial Exchange and LexisNexis like they are. Those are some of the type of things that we're working on. We're adding crowdfunding. We're adding angel investors into the finance suite as well to give you more options for funding and angel investing networks. Our goal is to get you the most money at the best terms. We do it two ways: by helping you step by step build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social security number, no personal guarantee, no personal credit check. And the second way we help you do it is accessing every legitimate funding program in one place. loans, credit lines, some that don't even require credit checks, some that are based strictly on credit, some that are based only on collateral, interest rates as low as 1.3%. We've got all different kind of financing. The whole idea behind this is that you never need to look for money anymore. Go run your business. When you need money, let our finance officers know. They're going to go out to all the banks, find you the ones that will approve you and get you the best terms. They do the work so you don't have to. The same with the business advisors. They don't do the work. You're doing it. They're helping you every step of the process. But by telling you this source will approve you, this won't, you know the ones to apply for in the right order to get approved, so you don't have to worry about getting denied. You've seen and heard several comments here from people that are struggling. I only got 2 trades. What do I do next? I have 4 trades. What do I do next? That's our world. The people that aren't our clients, everybody is lost and wants to know what to do, whereas our clients are shooting through this process in 4 to 6 months. So keep in mind both. If you're going through this on your own, it absolutely, without a doubt, works. But you have to be patient because there's a lot of trial and error. Building a commercial credit profile and score is not easy when you have no experience, knowledge, or help. And if you're working with us, of course, it just expedites it. 4 to 6 months, you're through the process if you're doing what you should be doing and applying for the credit along the way. But you determine how much credit you get, how fast you apply. Those are things that you do. But without a doubt, it's substantially faster if we're working with you versus not. And it's cheaper. You're not paying for 411. You're not paying Dun & Bradstreet the money. You're not paying $2,200 extra for monitoring. You're saving thousands in the process. And don't forget, we will work with you on customized payments as well to make sure that this makes sense. Don't not work with us or not contact us because it's too much. Tell us, let us work with you so it's actually affordable for you to do so. And then that way you don't have to worry about business credit financing. When you need it in the future, we help you get it. If you don't qualify for financing, we help map out a blueprint of what you need to do to qualify so you can actually be successful. So I maybe address a couple other questions and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm a landscaper that needs new equipment. What do you suggest? We can help you with that. A couple things. One, there's equipment financing. So I always believe in getting financing for exactly what you need. Don't try to get a loan for equipment and everything else. Get equipment financing. We have equipment financing. We have equipment leasing and equipment sale leaseback. You could borrow against equipment you already own. So we can help you there. If you're looking for equipment financing, just give us a call, send us an email. We can do it through the finance suite. We can help you do it outside of it as well. Your goal was accomplished. Thank you, and I'm ready to get started. Thank you very much, Mary. I look forward to working with you. And it looks like you're dealing with real estate, maybe investing, and that's cool. That's the second industry, top industry that we help. And I appreciate your feedback. Thank you. If you use the personal guarantee option for funding and business creation, you always have to personally guarantee all business credit for the life of the business. No, you won't. Look, if you look at the definition of a business guarantee, a guarantee is needed when the business cannot stand on its own. If you build the credit profile and score, the business, this is how business credit works. You start with nothing. You build a credit profile by adding trade lines or payment experiences, and you pay them on time. That gives you a score. The more payment experiences you have, the deeper, the more depth you have in your credit profile. The more depth you have in the credit profile, the more types of financing become available without the guarantee and the credit check. It'll take you maybe years to get loans and credit lines without it, but you can start getting business credit cards, even Visa, MasterCard, Amex for $50,000 individual limits in 4 to 6 months. So you can guarantee things in the beginning and get away from it, but you need to know the accounts you personally guarantee, you can never unguarantee. You can't guarantee a Wells Fargo account, then build your business credit, then get rid of the guarantee on that account. That can't be done. You can get a Wells Fargo with the guarantee, get a Wells Fargo without the guarantee, and balance transfer with the guarantee to without the guarantee and shut down the one with the guarantee. So very complicated answer to your question. But again, there's just, a lot of different ways that actually works. So hopefully that helps you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you have any other questions, guys, guys and gals, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Give us a call, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com. You did attend through the end of the webinar. We'll send you a replay as of tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. And if you have any other questions, make sure you give us a call. Love to work with you. Love to help take years of business credit building and condense it to only months. Love to help you build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social, without the guarantee, without the credit check. Love to plug you into every legitimate funding source and a finance team where all they do is know all these sources to help you get the most money at the best terms of the business. If you'd like those things as well, give us a call, send us an email. We'll work with you. We want to have an opportunity to work with you. And even if not, we still have a bunch of free information we can get you as well. So I look forward to talking to you all. If you have any questions, give us a ring, 877-600-2487, info@creditsuite.com, and we will make sure any other questions that you have are answered. Thank you all very much for taking the time to attend today. I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to working with you, helping you build your business credit and get financing to grow your business.